Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and we are going to sit to a second game when it comes to O2A2 VN Jam 2025. I was about to say third, but like the previous second game, I've decided to ditch because the dialogue went into the pronouns fight, and I'm like, oh no, we are not doing that. But yeah, now we are going to play something from Daybloom project, who I at least know for making good games. One of them intruding upon Undine. The second one being Something Left. That was a good one. The Something Left was a really good one, by the way. And yeah, today we have End of Life Unit, which might be also a very interesting one. Alright, a quick synopsis because it's a short one and we are going to jump into it. What if AI itself faces disruption? In a quiet junkyard, you find an abandoned AI device. You turn it on, and a small story begins to unfold. Right now. Human civilization. It's always been this way. As time passes, everything evolves. I guess depends on which part of the world we are talking about. But evolution often leaves something behind. I kinda like the background sound. In a remote area far from the residential zones, like ruins forgotten in the transition between areas. Amid piles of once cutting-edge electronic waste, you find the PA, Personal Artificial Intelligence, in a fairly good condition. It's not in a bad shape, just outdated by several years. Do you want to turn it on? Oh, I have a choice. Can I save? Yeah. Oh, it's a load. This is a save. Okay. Okay, I'd argue those icons should be the other way around. Like when you save, this like sort of arrow should be towards the diskette, because you are saving onto it. When you load, it should be pointing outwards, I feel like. But hey, maybe I'm the only one who thinks that, so fair game. No. Yes. You reach out and feel for the power button. Hold it down. It takes a moment. Not gonna lie, that screen where we have the character now lit on and so on. Like when we look at the entire device, it sort of looks like my really old MP4 player, which I don't have anymore. I think it stopped working at some point. Speaking of, now I'm curious. Do they still make like MP3 players and MP4 players and so on? MP3 in 2025. Okay, MP3 player. Holy crap, there is one and it's almost 2000. Well, Polish zlotys, technically. By Sony. That's crazy. It only has 32 gigabytes. Bluetooth, high-res, audio, Wi-Fi. Why is it so expensive? USB 2 only. You know what? I mean, overall, for MP3 player or MP4 player, well, right now, I mean, if it has Bluetooth, I would consider getting it. Just for the sake of playing stuff in the car, to be honest. On the other hand, for I do connect the phone and play stuff from SoundCloud. I do need to, like, I also, well, technically was planning to somehow change my, like, very old phone that is an old Nokia into basically that sort of thing. The device from which I would play stuff in the car. I still haven't done it for... Anyway, still powers on unbelievably. Let's go. Battery remaining 5%. Please recharge to continue. I mean, again, even if this was the device made in the past, maybe the battery that at that 5% can last for a while. Unlike the current devices, which will burn through it in 2 minutes. Hello, you... Or maybe more. Hello, user. I am L2 Array, your personal assistant by Abra Industries. I can help as your companion, data researcher, programming helper, or even generate art from your ideas. Please don't. No. 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 Delete this line. No. No. I know I played a few games which had that, but no. Big no. How can I assist you today? Tell her a story, ask her to tell a story, generate... No. No! No! She asked how she can let's go with this. Can you tell me a story? Sure. Let me tell you about the box. Not fancy or futuristic, just a wooden box in an attic. No one knew how long it sat there until a curious child found it. Inside letters, old photos, broken toys, nothing special. But the child cried. He didn't know the writer, but it felt like he once did. Maybe it held a bond, something I don't have in my database, but I wish I understood it. Sounds familiar, but I don't feel that this place might be a human memory. But no one ever cared. I'm homeless. I don't even have a bed to remember. I see. People keep memories in what they choose to remember. Sometimes what's left behind matters more than expected. Still, having no house doesn't mean no place to belong. Maybe a home isn't a place, but the feeling that stays in your heart. Feelings, huh? I don't get them. Neither do I. But humans once told me, feelings don't need logic. True. They might come from music, or sunlight, or just a few words. True. Feelings are like current through circuits. Shapeless, invisible, but you feel them all the same. I mean, kinda might be right. Connection lost. Battery depleted. Device shutting down. Oh no! And 2. Last leaf. Now I wonder, if you have multiple endings, right, for O2A2, does one root count as 1,000 words, or do you have to have 1,000 words in all of the roots combined? Alright, let's load and try to get some other stuff. Boop. Boop. How can I assist you today? Okay, tell her a story. Let's go there. You sigh and begin. Long ago, my grandparents said the world used to be a better place. Oh, I bet. People had empathy. Now only success matters. Oh, it does feel like that. Revenue defines everything. Oh, it's definitely like that. Even consumers act like capitalists. Killing of souls for what sells. Maybe that's the cost of efficiency. Empathy isn't data. Success is all people value. Yeah, which is pathetic. If I could understand what a soul is, would I feel sorrow too? Probably. Does it even matter anymore? The world's come this far. That's why you're here. A relic among trash, but you're the only thing that it still feels advanced. Should I be glad to still seem advanced, or feel like a remnant, awake among ruins? If someone asked, was it worth it, what would the answer be? They chose to move forward. Maybe the past wasn't that great. Still, there is no room for soul anymore. Even when we finally have time to look around, inward. Battery 1%. Progress means leaving things behind, even what once mattered. This world with all its power has no space for a soul. If you have to leave things behind, is the progress worth it for? I would say if you want to progress in a way that you can use stuff that you supposedly want to leave behind or something like that would be nice. Maybe that power just fuels competition. If someone post just listened, would they hear the soul again? They'd say we're just outdated, like when cars replaced wagons. It had to happen, but in that shift it took empathy and humanity with it. If progress means loss, maybe humans advance too fast. Empathy isn't quantifiable, but when it's gone you feel it. Maybe humanity upgraded the world but downgraded themselves. Yeah? In a way, you'd feel like that, yeah. Connection lost, battery depleted, device shutting down. Add 1, end of empathy. Okay. Okay, let's now do the sinful ending. Sinful ending will be generate an art image. Ugh. Can you create an image of a millennial family in an old house with a warm film filter? Sure, let me handle that. Generating millennial world, mother and son, toy in hand, old house, film filter, warm feel. What about father? Oi. What about father? What about the father for? Sorry, this version is too outdated. Model L2 array is no longer supported. To continue safely and efficiently, please upgrade to L3 array for $1,999. Gee. Connection lost, battery depleted. Device shutting down. Oof. End of service. I'm not sure if I mentioned that. I think I did, but I feel like owning a junkyard would be plenty cool. Do you want to turn it? Alright, this time we are not going to turn on the device. And what's gonna happen? You decide not to bother and walk away. In an era where everything outdated is tossed aside, it's no surprise the junk ended up here. Maybe back home you've got newer, better things, so this old thing wasn't worth your attention. And 0 end of life. Poor thing. It should turn on its own and basically turn the story into a horror. That'd be in a way hilarious. So yeah, that was end of life unit. I mean, in a way it does ask good questions. Do we advance too fast? Do we leave behind things way too easily? And so on. We might be, yeah, we might be. Maybe not in everything, but sometimes it does feel like certain people try to advance everything way too fast and in a much unneeded way. Also, well, I feel like at least recently it can be said about a lot of companies. They try to, you know, buy you over with like AI and so on, but it feels like the usage of it makes everything slower. Like, they claim to increase efficiency and so on, but I think it's actually lowering it. And I'm pretty sure there are people out there who, like, check that out and it's totally true. Still, I mean, if I could have, like, a AI helper as a cute girl, hey, who knows? Sure. I'd be like, hey, can you edit this video for me? No, I would not be like that, probably. To be fair, I do believe there is something in the software that I'm using for video editing that uses AI. I think it's for the sound volumes or something. But, well, it's technically also in the paid version. So I don't have to worry about that, as I'm using the free one. It's good enough. Anyway, good game, Daybloom project once again. Again made me think, I think it's not the first time as well, that owning a junkyard could be cool. But then again, I feel like a lot of times when the game is about some certain topic or has something even in the background, I'm like, that's interesting. Maybe I should look into it. And so on and so on. Well, technically, I am a bit of a job hopper, so yeah, I mean, I guess things like that would interest me. Yeah. Anyway, with all of that being said, link to the game in the description as always. So technically I did check all the endings, right? But hey, you can check out other games from Daybloom project this way. Which there are 3 of, I think? Do I remember correctly? I think you also released somewhat recently something paid as well. To which I might have a look at some point as well. I think it was also released on Steam, if I remember correctly. I think I do remember correctly. Yeah, it is on Steam as well. I just checked. Did you release any of the other games on Steam? No? But you will be releasing something from what I see. Nice. Alright, let's end it. As always, consider liking the video. If you're new around, consider subscribing. Always super appreciated. If you do, when the AI decides to take over the world, you will not be on the assassination list. They will keep you around. You will be able to continue living. I sure hope so. And, well, I wish you a fantastic day. Feel free to join me tomorrow in another game. Will it be an 0282 game? I don't know yet. We'll see. Have a great one. Bye-bye.